Game of Thrones looked epic on screen, but the real magic happened behind the scenes. Let's take a quick look at how they pulled it all off. The stunt team faced one challenge after another. Every scene began with a script, and from there, it was all about planning, choreographing, and keeping it safe. Yes, those full-body fire burns were real. In fact, Game of Thrones holds the record for the most people set on fire on a TV set, but safety always came first. Performers wore multiple layers, fireproof underwear, a cooling gel, rain suits, fire suits, and costumes. Even their masks had tiny breathing holes to protect them from flames. Before filming, the team practiced what they called a fire dance, a carefully planned route performers took while burning straight to the safety crew who put out the flames. And no burn lasted longer than 15 seconds. In one unforgettable shot, they burned 20 people at once, not for show, but to serve the story. The stunt team learned to channel stress and fear into focus. That's how the action scenes came to life. Loving the behind-the-scenes details? Hit that subscribe button to support the channel and see more amazing stories like this. Think those zombie-like creatures were CGI? Think again. The prosthetics team spent weeks building every detail. It all started with a head cast. From there, the makeup could take 4 to 6 weeks to build, and 4 to 8 hours to apply each day. Before the cameras even rolled, the team had already done a full day's work. And after 12 hours of filming, it could take another 1 to 2 hours just to remove everything. As the show grew, so did the team. What started as a small crew with just a few creatures turned into a massive operation. By the final season, there were 50 artists in the workshop and up to 80 prosthetic performers on set. It was physically tough, mentally draining, but incredibly rewarding. Seeing their work on screen made it all worth it. Now, let's talk about the camera, the tool that made Westeros feel so real. From the icy north to fiery battles, the camera crew had one goal: immerse the audience in the story. Over 8 seasons, they filmed everything, from massive fights to quiet moments with stunning detail. But it wasn't easy. They had to deal with complex shots, fast-moving action, and even wild weather. Snowstorms, floods, rock slides, you name it. One of the most intense scenes? A major battle where a key character was trapped under a pile of bodies. The actor actually went to the ground, surrounded by stunt performers. The crew kept filming as he fought to get back up, making the moment feel real, raw, and unforgettable. Big battles took weeks to shoot, sometimes 23 days straight. Every camera move was planned, every angle chosen with care. Through every storm, every challenge, the camera crew delivered some of the most iconic scenes in television history. As the show got bigger, so did the pressure. Scenes had to be shot faster, edited quicker, and turned around with movie-level quality. Game of Thrones was all about rising to that challenge. The visual effects team pushed boundaries every season. They started small, but soon the team exploded. More artists, more supervisors, and more shots than ever before. Early seasons had about 600 shots. By the final season, that number happened in just one episode. They weren't just adding dragons and battles. They were creating full characters through visual effects. Creatures that needed to feel real and make us feel something. From the frozen lake scene to the death of a dragon, these weren't just action moments. They were emotional. One of the most unforgettable shots was the moment the Night King touched the fallen dragon. Every scale, every movement had to be perfect. It wasn't just work anymore. For many, it became a way of life. Traveling like a circus, living and breathing the show for years. It was more than a job. It was a once-in-a-lifetime journey. That's how Game of Thrones came to life behind the camera. Every scene was a mix of skill, effort, and a little bit of fire. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and drop a comment below.